Hello, hello, everyone, and welcome to Light of Cinders here on All on the Table. I am Dan or Dan Fighter from the server community Dice Drop. We recently had our first stream. You can find us on Dice Drop TTRPG on Twitch and Instagram. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at DanFighter117. And we are back with this lovely cast of players once again. Starting us off, we have here nobody.
Hi, hello. I'm Nobody, they, them pronouns, and today I'll be playing as Project 617, a little blob of goo who accidentally turned into a monk.
Howdy, everybody. I'm Matthew R. Dawson, aka Scruffy Wanderer, and today I am playing Yehoshu, the Forge Cleric who's a little odd and not quite sure what kind of cleric he is, but he uses he, they pronouns.
Hi everyone, I'm Verba Bakea. My pronouns are he, they. Today I play Sly Speaker, a Goliath War Wizard.
Alright. And last time we had left our adventurers, they had all come and joined the great expedition of the newly founded Holy Arcane Empire. And they had been assigned a team together to take a job along with one other orc by the name of Glog. And everyone got together, did a little bit of research and preparation around town, picked up a small little job as well for themselves before they had been assigned to go out to the seas and investigate strange pillars rising up from the ocean. And after a little bit of digging, they had a heading. And upon that journey, and some time passing along that journey and them getting used to sailing and hiring one such sailor to assist them along the way as well, they came across a strange encounter with a thick fog rolling in and a single individual looks like rowing a raft of some kind along the way, approaching them, questioning them, and denying them passage, claiming to be a defender of a fallen kingdom. And that is where we had left our adventurers, and that is where we will pick up once again. You all, upon your ship, see this one hooded, robed figure halting near your ship and questioning you on why are you here? Who are you people? What are you doing on these waters? And what is it that you are all doing?
Well, if I remember correctly, I was up in the crow's nest, and I had called out, using thaumaturgy, ahoy there! Who are you? We're just kind of passing through. Hope you don't mind. Nice to meet you and all that. And I really want to hear more about your backstory.
And to which end he had immediately responded with a question as well, which was simply a repetition, which was, I am the one who should be asking you who you are and what you are doing in these waters.
Well, we are a group of explorers. We heard about some really cool stuff going on here, and I really just kind of a tourist, I suppose you could say. I really enjoy just checking out weird and unnatural things that happen, and so we're kind of in that direction right now, heading to something new. Do you know anything about that new thing? Like, you know anything about pillars or anything like that?
Roll me a deception.
I mean,
tourist.
I don't feel like I'm saying anything that's untrue.
I mean, that's your perspective, perhaps, but
17.
17. Hold on. God damn it. The figure slowly looms as the hooded face looks towards you, and you see a few features finally, as you see very dragonborn like features. Looks like a blue dragonborn of some kind, but parts of the scales have fallen off or are almost withered, and the parts that are revealed beneath them are pale and almost lifeless. And as this figure looks at you, this goes, "If you come here exploring, I assure you, the only thing upon these waters are treachery and pain, and vestiges of a long-lost kingdom. Come here seeking pillars. Well, you'd have even worse luck dealing with those than you've had in crossing your paths with me."
That's actually a really interesting statement. I want to dig into that more. Do you mind if I go down first? Because, I'm not going to lie, yelling at you, even using thaumaturgy to enhance my voice is kind of shredding my vocal cords a little bit. So, yeah, give me one moment, please. How far away is he from the boat, just out of curiosity?
From the ship itself, he's about 40, 50 feet away, plus you're on top of the crow's nest, so it's a bit of a distance.
Cool. So what I'd like to do is touch my... basically, I'm going to reach into my little component pouch, pull out a small bit of dust, smeared on my forehead as I'm casting the spell Longstrider on myself to give myself a little extra feet movement, and I'm gonna zip down really quick and kind of as I'm doing that, call over everybody else come here real quick. We need to think about this.
As a flourishing speed, you just drop down, sliding past the ladder as the figure silently watches on the ship. And as you get down, since you got down really quickly, you have a second to quickly catch up to everyone else, and yeah.
What y'all think? I mean, weird, big looking lich dude over there. I don't know. He says that we have almost as much misfortune dealing with him.
Well,
what do you think?
Seems like he's been a pretty okay dude so far. He's just kind of talking, so I don't know if it's bad luck to me then. I don't know. He kind of told us some stuff, actually. That's pretty nice.
I think it's quite interesting that he's actually replying to what you're saying. Seems quite intelligent.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's just a guy. He's clearly kind of sick just looking at him, but he's just a guy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Who am I to judge what your existence is? You do you. If he's not going to be rude to us, I see no reason to be rude to him. But keep that on the back burner and keep yourselves prepared just in case. As we're saying this, as we're walking over to the edge of the deck.
For sure. And as you get up to the edge of the deck, you notice that, first of all, his raft has gotten closer. And secondly, is now looking up towards you and goes, "I have a feeling. Do not quite comprehend the path you are taking here."
You are absolutely correct. We have no comprehension of what we're walking into, which is kind of why we're pausing for a moment. So if you can delineate on that a little bit more and kind of give us a heads up, I would definitely appreciate that.
You see he lifts his free hand, like one hand has been pushing the O on the raft, the other is like free hand, like he just raises the free hand out of the ropes as it trickles with this small greenish light, and he vanishes in a puff of green light. And in that same instance, you see a green light near you as he appears on board your ship and looks at now all of you, not just Yehoshu, and just goes, "You linger near the waters of Kaldraga, once renowned kingdom of dragons, now but a ruin underneath the ocean tide. I do not know why you seek these towers, or why you venture out and under whose name, but I assure you, there are far worse things in these waters than myself."
I don't mean to be rude, but you've kind of referred to yourself as unfortunate and a bad thing a couple times now. Are you doing okay? Do you need somebody to talk to?
Looks at you, strangely, not taken aback by your presence. Quite normal with it, and just looks at you and goes, "It is, of course, misfortune to cross paths with one who has died, or should have, along with his kin. It is misfortune to linger in places where the souls of the tormented yet linger."
Huh. So, what you're saying is this whole area is cursed now because of the destruction of this Khal Dragon place, and the towers that are coming up are kind of a remnant of that kingdom?
We had a mighty kingdom, yes. The towers, as you claim they are the towers of the Watchers. They exist as a common place of vigilance for many races to this world. And it was our duty to keep them safe and maintain them. A duty we are no longer capable to fulfill. And as he's saying this, you see kind of Clark whispers to you all, "You want me to attack him right now? He's kind of giving me the creeps."
No, not really. I'm actually kind of curious.
I think he just needs a friend, yeah.
Yeah. No reason to. I mean, he's being cool. He's being chill. There's no reason whatsoever to hit this guy. No. You remember that piece of string I gave you? Why don't you go take a look at that for a little bit?
Can I do a roll? He looks at you again, like a little annoyed at first, just goes, "Told you I'm not an idiot. Can't distract me with a piece of string." And as he, goes back to reach, he's like, "Oh, where did I put that string?" And turns around and starts looking for it.
Look at your finger.
Huh?
Maybe. I turn to him and say, "Look at your finger, maybe."
Hold on.
Oh, you're quite genius there. Well done. Now that that's settled, I need to make sure I don't lose this again.
Starts fiddling with it.
So I'm trying to keep Lich Dude occupied real quick by not focusing on that. So I'm like, hey, this is really fascinating stuff. This Cal Dragon place. I can't say I've ever heard of it before. Tell me a little bit more about that. Like, what happened to the whole place?
Actually, give me a history check for that.
Okay.
Any of you can, by the way.
Yeah, sure.
Like I said, with a 5, I have never heard of this place before.
You have never heard of this place before. All right. Another 5. Excellent.
Oh, what?
And a 17.
Well, no, that's still me. It rolled twice for some reason.
Oh, yeah, that is weird.
Weird.
I think we have to sit with the 5 because that was the first roll. I just don't know why it happened twice.
That's fine. You see as Slice Speaker, are you rolling?
Yep, but it's not coming
no.
through.
That's fine. What you get? I
I
see
had
an
a sep-
unnatural 20.
Yeah, and I had an unnatural 20, but it's not showing up.
That's fine. With the unnatural 20, you would know. Kal Draga was the kingdom of many different races. The Dragonborn, they were these rhinoceros people, and a couple of other races that lived there. And it's a very recent thing that this kingdom stopped existing. This was a seat of power for the Dragonborn until a certain group of them turned court towards the Chromatic Dragons during the Dragon Wars and basically turned it into a fortress that instigated the war further. And it was through tragedy and sacrifice of many heroes, many champions of different deities that exist in this world, that they stopped that problem from spreading. But the unfortunate circumstance was that the entire island, by ways of their actions, sank into the ocean, the entire continent of Kal Draga. And as it sank, so did most of its people. And many of the Dragonborn that you would now see were just fortunate enough that they were on the mainland or were living somewhere else, and everyone else sank with the kingdom.
Well, this was a seat of power for the Dragonborn, which was
Yes.
turned into a fortress after they turned into a cult.
Part of their leadership turned to a cult, yes.
And when this cult was stopped, or at least hindered, to stop or at least hinder it, it was sunk.
Yes, there was a big battle that took place on the continent, and during that battle, something like Yuan Shou, like not many people really know, but Yuan Shou, something happened which made these heroes make a decision, essentially, and that decision caused the island to sink. And in its sinking, so did the people, and most of these heroes. But that is also the major event, one of two major events that brought an end to the Draconic Wars in general.
Mhm.
But yes.
Yeah, basically I tell the others what I know about it. Like, I think my aunt told me about this, or my nan, I don't remember. History lessons or something. But basically, yeah, it was it was a whole continent sunk after a war against the cold, I guess. And every Dragonborn, we met a Dragonborn in Zealous, right? Probably a survivor from that continent. At least I think we saw one. I turn to the Lich type creature and I ask, what are the souls of the tormented? What do you mean by that?
I mean the souls unfortunate enough to fall amongst my kin. Souls who were led astray by those who
sought worse things. Souls that I could not save.
Wow. I think I kind of get the idea of why you're lingering on. If you're unable to save them and you're just kind of stuck here, so is that kind of your gig now? You paddle around on your raft and warn people not to approach for fear of death. Is that like your whole shtick?
I do not know why I'm still alive. By all rights, I should have sunk and died with that island. With my people. I do not know why I still draw breath, or if what you can even call the state drawing breath, but I am still here. I have no people left to protect, no lords left to serve. And so I search and keep safe what I can.
Is there anything we could do to help you? Like either pass on or maybe, I don't know, like fulfill some unfulfilled life thing that maybe we could end your torment? Like, I'm pretty sure you're not actually breathing, just judging by your overall appearance. Like, wind's maybe coming in and out of your lungs so you can talk, but I doubt you actually need that. Just judging based on what I'm seeing here and your whole vibe. But I digress. Anyway, if we could like help you out and help you find peace, that wouldn't be a horrible thing.
I guess.
What are you searching for?
He kind of pivots a little when you ask that. I need any one of you to give me a persuasion with advantage.
I've got a +3 in persuasion. I don't know if anybody can do better.
I'm just gonna elect to sit this one out because I hadn't said anything that would have convinced him to be on our side.
I don't know. Sly, are you more charismatic than I am? Probably not. Fair enough.
Intelligent, probably.
Fair enough. Okay. Persuasion at advantage then.
All right.
Oh, that would be a net 20 for a 23, baby!
Put that up on the counter. All right. As all of you like ask these things, Figure kind of like shifts a little, and he just goes, "I search for two things. I search to make sure the legacy of my people can endure, and that can only happen if I can show the heirloom of my people still exists and can be taken back to our kin. And secondly, I wish to find out where the object of our demise still resides. I would seek it destroyed." You all said you were heading to a Watcher's Tower. If that is the case, if you can indeed gain passage, you might be able to see things that are not visible to those who are not Watchers from within those towers. Perhaps you can glean the location of these things, so I can seek them out.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, if that's what we're looking for, if we're looking to go there anyway, there's nothing to be gained from us not helping you out. Yeah, so yeah, it's like I say, it's friendly stuff. We'll see what we can do.
To help you out, we will need to know what this heirloom looks like, I guess.
The heirloom is an idol of the Platinum Dragon.
Platinum Dragon Bahamut, and that meager but important relic has to exist amongst these waters somewhere. And I know it is not destroyed, for it is protected by his divine grace. As for the object of my hate, that I am not entirely sure what it is. I do know that it is connected to the reviled Dragon Queen. And perhaps to Udot, the god of the earth.
You say Udot?
Udot. That's Udoth.
Okay, so just to recap, so I'm making these mental notes in my head. Heirloom of the Platinum Dragon. Gotta find that. Make sure it's safe. Maybe bring it back. Object of Hate. Something that's connected to Tiamat and Uda. If we can destroy that, cool beans. If not, at least let you know where it is. I mean, do you just want to come with us and help us look for it? I mean, if we're going to this tower, and you seem like a pretty powerful dude, maybe if we all work together, we can just kill two birds with one stone.
I do not mind accompanying you, but I assure you, the power I once possessed has long since faded. What I have now are mere wisps of my actual strength. But yes, if it will help you, help me, then that is agreeable.
That's wonderful to hear. We probably should tie your raft off, though. We wouldn't want to leave it behind in the middle of the ocean, because then you'd just kind of be stuck, so...
You actually, look down and the raft is gone.
Oh, I'm sorry. Apparently I said that way too late.
Is it like floating away? Can we see it at all?
No, actually. You see he like reaches into the ropes and presents a small miniature raft in his hand.
Ah, okay. Yes, that's very handy.
Yeah, that's actually really cool. You have anything else like that? Any other nifty gizmos or doodads?
I have the tools I had left before the city fell.
And he like kind of pulls back his hood as he says,
Well, if you are assisting me, I believe proper introductions are in order.
and as he pulls his hood back, you see like parts of his bone are showing in different places, like near the jaw, near the neck, and where the skin and scales do still exist. You also see some what look like faded tattoos of some kind. For this, Yehoshu, you can give me a religion check, actually.
Okay. That would be a 14.
14? From, like, the partial remains of them, you can make out that he has sigils of Torm on him, who you would know is a god who has a lot to do with retribution and justice and righteous fury, that kind of a vibe. And you would also know that this was a god that was very amicable towards Bahamut. And yeah, like you see all of that, and as he pulls the hood back, he goes, like with like a slight bow, a very surprisingly like regal bow.
I am Nolodax, last defender of Kaldraga.
Nuladex. Can you spell that, please?
Yeah, Nulludax.
I
Say
was
again?
almost right.
Nulludax.
Well, Nuladex, it's really nice to meet a follower of Torm. I'm Shu. That over there is Numbers, and this is the big one, Sly, and the one in the back playing with string. That's Clang.
Clog, and you see the human back at the helm just like waves his hand. Name's Morgan. And kind of like looks at you all just. Well, well met, I suppose. Forgive the rather rude initial meet.
Not at all. You're clearly going through a lot of stuff.
I had not ascertained your intentions yet.
Honestly, neither of us. It's cool.
I've certainly met ruder people before.
I mean that, yeah, for sure.
She looks
It
right.
was well-mannered rudeness. But yeah, Nulludax is on the ship. What are you all doing? That Nat 20 recruited an undead with you, sure.
Why the heck not? You know, make
Yeah.
pals. Okay, well, since we're not killing this guy outright, tally forth to I mean, I guess we got a guide. He can lead us straight to where we need to go, right? Well,
Where the
Nulludex.
nearest tower is.
Yeah, where's the nearest tower?
Hold on. So we do a survival check with advantage. Okay, yeah. Kind of. Like, do you show him any maps or anything you're working with?
I don't see why not.
Yeah,
Right.
we only had like a general area, I think. So if we can
Yeah.
communicate that to him.
So yeah, you communicate like a general area and like, you know, the basic like oceanic maps and all you would have. He firstly looks just very confused and surprised looking at the maps because they don't match any map knowledge he has because times have changed. Like he's like, the hell is Zealous? And just like getting more and more confused and just goes, alright, and goes over to Morgan and starts giving him the heading as he changes the course on the helm. And you all begin making your way out towards where one of the towers should be. And you end up sailing for about another day. So like, you know, in case you burnt anything, you can like mark a rest. But
Sweet.
I think at
I
some
believe
point
that's a
during
long
that
strider.
time, Six would have to approach Nulludax and just. Excuse me, hi, sorry to bother. I've been kind of taking care of food on this journey. Do you eat? I'm not super sure what's up with. I mean, do I...
Oh.
Not to
Your
be rude.
cons-
How old are you?
You ask the age.
I asked Nulludex how old he is.
Okay, you ask age, you ask about food, answering the food thing first just goes,
your concern is appreciated, but I don't recall having the need to eat ever since, well, this became of me. And to answer your question, well, I was about 40. Oh, when the kingdom fell. What year is it now?
Good question. What year is it?
it should be the year 507. And yeah, so looks a little like, oh damn.
Well, much has changed quite quickly then. I was defending the walls in the year 500 or so. 502, maybe. My memory is a little muddled.
Oh wow, it's only been like 5 years? That's crazy.
Yeah, it's like very recent memory that this kingdom fell and the war ended. And you see, he kind of looks confused. And he just,
So technically I would be what? 50 years old at best?
Oh wow,
"Oh,
really?
Suppose I've looked better.
as like he kind of like pinches his fingers together and like some dust falls off the fingertip.
Question. Just based on the fact that now we know that this dude's only been like this for 5 years, is this a natural sort of level of decay, or can I tell like something really, really messed up happened to this dude?
Give me an Arcana check.
Okay.
I will help.
Yeah, go for it.
Wow.
So that would give you advantage.
Awesome. Uh, 13.
It's hard to tell exactly what's happened to this person. Because you do immediately notice that there seems to be a lot of wounds all over this person underneath these robes that are just quite literally just no longer bleeding. But like the wounds are still there. And everything seems to just be held together somehow almost. And the decay does seem faster than normal, but that could also be because, well, he's been on the ocean for 5 years. Or it could be that maybe he would be looking a lot worse unless something else had happened to stop that decay. But you can't exactly tell what the source is.
So I feel like for the next day of travel that we're doing, I'm going to be kind of keeping down on the deck, watching Morgan, I guess he's calling himself right now.
Morgan is the helmsman that you hired.
Okay. And then between him and our new pal, Nulidax, I'm going to kind of spend my time watching the two of them, make sure there's nothing crazy going on. Also, just I do want to know more about how to run a ship, so I definitely need to hang out with him and kind of understand all that.
For the most part, every now and then you would observe that Nulidax gives Morgan a heading. Or like corrects his course or something, and then he just goes back towards the like bow of the ship and just looks out at the ocean. Doesn't need to sleep or eat, just kind of stands there.
At any point, does he raise his arms up to do the Titanic thing?
Unfortunately, no.
Disappointing. So disappointing.
So many missed opportunities. But yeah, after a day passes, you finally pass through this fog bit of an area thanks to his navigation, as he tells you that you were initially navigating straight towards where Caldraga fell. But now you make your way out, and about a few hours into the day, around what you would assume is close to noon, maybe 11 a.m. or so, in the distance, at some point, if you end up taking the crow's nest, especially, you notice the skyline you're seeing, a part of it just reflects back at you. Almost like a glint in your eye kind of hits, and that glare bothers you enough that you look a little closer, and you notice, thanks to the heading, you go right past it, as there's this basically invisible mirage kind of a cylinder, like on the horizon that you're passing by, and you can see right through it, but you can't see into it, strangely enough. As what looks like a pretty tall cylindrical structure kind of makes a shape out in that mirage.
That's kind of cool. Hey,
Yeah.
hey, Dax, what's up with that?
He looks a little perturbed at the name and just goes,
That would be your quarry. That is a Tower of the Watcher.
I feel like "the" is capitalized. Is that significant?
Yeah, at least in my time, there were quite a few of these all over the waters across the world. I do not know how many remained. This would be the one that you were looking for, given the general heading you had given me.
And what were their
And
main
as I
function?
said,
Sorry.
oh yeah, when you ask for the main function, he kind of just goes,
well, that's a little complicated. They served, as the name suggests, watchers, a level of vigilance over the ocean waters to make sure nothing unwelcome is found upon them, and they would be able to contact nearby towers and nearby kingdoms of the presence of any extra planar threats. And beyond that, they would also be part, well, the Watchers themselves were part of an oceanic order of information, one that even our kingdom had no access to. We were simply charged with making sure the towers stay as they are. We are not permitted entry. Much like any other race, it is up to the Watchers inside to decide who enters and who does not. We have been here for quite many centuries.
What does one make a watcher?
like, what makes a watcher, essentially?
What? Yeah, who can become a watcher, and like, what do you have to do?
He looks at you like,
Oh, that's the strange thing about this order. In my entire tenure as Defender, never ever heard of anyone becoming a Watcher. Yet they have functioned and have served for centuries. No one knows who is inside or how they function. No one has been able to tell. But they certainly have not needed any external assistance in bolstering their ranks.
So, like, do they function now still, even though the kingdom is gone?
I would hope that you would know that. I have been on the ocean for 5 years.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Well, but guy we talked to back in town did say he could see a person at the top of the tower, so presumably if the Watchers control who gets in and out, that must have been one of them, right?
Well, I suppose the only way to find out is to go on up there. Now,
alright.
technical question.
Mhm.
Now, we got the tower that we can't really see, but we can kind of sort of see. What's on the water level? Like, I imagine we're on the boat looking down.
Yeah, so that's the strange part. On the water surface, nothing else. There's just a literal cylinder coming out of the ocean, as far as you can see.
Hey, Morgan, how close can you get the boat alongside this thing without, hitting anything?
I guess well, that depends on what hits us, I guess. I can't really see shit in front of us, but...
And starts like turning the ship a little closer, and a couple more minutes pass by, and you get a much better look at this Mirage tower, and you're like what, 30, 40 feet away from it now. You're like right next to it.
Can we see anybody on the top?
Give me a perception check. It is close to noon. You're looking straight up into the sky.
I'll put my goggles, my my forge goggles down so I can block that sun out.
You know what? I will actually account that into the DC.
Ugh, just a 12.
You look up, like you put your goggles on, like to kind of like deal with the glare, but that also gives you a bit of a tinted view at this mirage, and as such, you'll like, try to look a bunch of stories above you, like trying to find the top of this tower essentially, because it's anyways hard to make out the shape, and can't really tell. You with it at this distance, you are sure of the shape of the cylinder going up, but that's the best you can tell. And at this distance, you can also see that there is some material that is clearly here. It's not just like a magical mirage. Like, it's almost glass-like, or like some kind of a transparent crystal or something. It's strange.
Well, I don't know. Y'all let's talk it out a little bit here, because we got two options here. Well, actually, I think we got three options, really. We have the potion of flight. We can send somebody up there with a rope. And actually, what is the circumference around this tower, if we circled it a bit?
It's actually pretty decent. From what you can see, it's like a couple of meters in radius.
Okay.
And you can imagine, like, if this was like a regular tower, a single floor even could have multiple rooms across it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely it does. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm getting a picture in my head here. So, again, we got the potion of flight. Somebody could fly up there with a rope, and maybe we could climb up it. We also have the scroll, which could help us dive down and see what's below it. Burning through, just considering resources. Uladrax, I assume you have some spells and that sort of thing. We'll get to that in a second. But, I don't know, do we want to just, before we just, go invading, do we want to just, try to knock and see if a door opens?
I mean, yeah, sure. If there's a door, we gotta knock on it. I'm not sure how we'd find that in a clear tower, but if we can move around the outside of it and see if there's one, that would be great.
Sure, I've got a lump of metal or something, nothing too big, but if I tie it to a rope and then throw it and hit the thing, we can just go around it and do this every so often, I guess.
Be my guest. It's up to you guys.
I'm just kind of tossing ideas out. We could also, I could just thaumaturgy my voice, be really loud, and yell up there and see if anybody responds. I mean, there's that too. Uladrax, you got Nuladrax. Do you got any? It's Nuladrax, not Nula. You got any? And what are your resources like? What kind of spells you got?
Hold on. Well, I can transport myself over certain distances, and I am good at killing things. Or erecting barriers.
Okay, fair. fair, legit.
Makes sense, yeah. I don't suppose you could kill the tower. That seems like it'd be too easy.
Yeah, I don't think we want to kill the tower anyway. We want to explore it.
Oh, that's fair.
I can try, is what he thinks to himself.
If we get close to the tower, I want to see what kind of magic it could be. Because you mentioned it's a mirage.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess we have to get close first, right?
You got detect magic?
Yeah,
Up to you
I
guys.
do.
Well, we're
So-
within 30 feet of it, so...
Yeah, you can probably like get right up to the edge of your ship and on the port side and kind of get like close enough to like be on the edge of your radius. So
Mhm.
that works.
I'm still having troubles with the extension, but I'm just gonna cast detect magic, and then you can see it on D&D Beyond.
All right. Done.
Or not.
Da-da-da-da. All right. You cast detect magic, and you
Whoop.
get back a couple of different magical signatures coming off of this structure.
Mhm.
You can tell there is abjuration, some kind of almost non-detection cast over this place. There is what looks like some kind of an illusion spell, which is probably what is giving way to what you're seeing. Some kind of a high-level variant of the spell hallucinatory terrain and Mirage Arcane. But the spells have been molded in a way that they only wrap around the structure and nothing else. But that's as much as you can make out with the detect magic.
All of this magic here is giving me a headache.
Pretty magical, huh?
It is very magical. It is, I think, partially beyond my comprehension. As much as I hate to admit that, but yeah, it's certainly not something I can deal with.
Probably should leave it alone then. I don't think it's a good idea to disrupt something like that.
You mentioned earlier that we could see parts of the material that this thing was made of. Is there like any kind of platform around the edge, or is it just a sheer tower straight out of the water?
Give me a perception check.
Alrighty. Oof. That's not ideal.
Looking out from the edge of the ship, you're trying to like kind of squint your eyes, look through, and you think you see some kind of a, of the same material, some kind of a walkway going up, very close to your ship, wrapping all the way around, going up at least a few stories, from what you can tell.
Okay, yeah, that would make sense. You wouldn't want to go right in at the waterline, because then waves could get in the door. So, yeah. Yeah, stairs. Okay. I think I might have found something, y'all.
What you got?
Looks like there's a climbing thing. It's hard to see, because it's all weird and invisible like the rest of it, but I think it goes up a little ways. I'm just gonna... And I guess, assuming that it sees a platform that it can stand on, well, not stand exactly, but exist on, 617's just going to try to make that leap over there.
Give me an athletics check.
Ready?
You leap off the port side of your ship towards this tower, and all of you watch as Project flies across the air, and with a very gentle plop, just falls into the water.
I'm going to
And-
thaumaturgy the sound of
yeah.
clapping.
I guess now we will see if project dissolves.
Project is not dissolving,
How
but
you doing down there,
Project
buddy?
is sinking.
Okay. I'll throw a rope out to them. You know, I had that rope
you-
tied to,
yeah.
to metal and just like
Yeah.
throw it to them to grab.
Give me another perception check, Project. Do you see the rope as you sink?
Fair enough. Oh. I think I just rolled that twice again. Yeah, it sure did. That's very strange. I don't know why it keeps doing that.
That is
Are you
weird.
double clicking or anything like that?
Not that I'm aware of, but maybe.
Maybe in
It
the
could be the
extension
mouse
you have
just going out.
advantage.
Alright, you don't notice the rope, and you keep on sinking down. However, because you're sinking, you do notice something else.
Alright.
As you're falling down, you see underneath the water, part of the tower does expand out into a bit more of a visible material of sorts. And it's still the same strange transparentish glass-like thing, but the lower you're getting, the glass almost seems like this white crystal. And again, it's just going all the way down as far as you can see into the base of where the ocean would be, the ocean floor would be. But it has opened out into almost like a small dome before it descends. And you see these strange hieroglyphic markings all over this dome. And you're seeing that as you're basically like passing by it as you keep thinking. What do you guys do? As you see like the rope is just kind of floating at the top of the water surface now, and the distant image of Project is going further down.
Well, I mean, I'm a dude in heavy armor, so
Mhm.
I'm gonna be I'll be pulling my rope back as quickly as I possibly can and just yelling down using thaumaturgy. Numbers! Can you swim? I sink like a stone, dude.
You see at that point, Plag drops his weapons to the side and just takes a full dive into the water in front of him. Let's do an athletics check for him. Because he gets advantage on those, so that's something. Alright, as you're sinking, you hear this torrential water just going past you as you see Clark just torpedoing down and almost misses you as he goes past you. But immediately like looks over and through the water just like speaks out, letting all the air out accidentally, but just goes just and immediately stops and grabs you and starts swimming his way back up to the surface. And you return back to the ship, thanks to Clark, who has used one charge of rage.
Good job, dude. Numbers. That was. You do know you're supposed to like move appendages to keep buoyant and all that. I don't know if you've ever been in the water before.
No, I didn't. But I've never touched the water before because I didn't know if I would dissolve. That was interesting and different.
Didn't we kind of figure out that Project doesn't have arms?
Can you?
Yeah, Project's mostly just a sphere, but it can like send out like goo protrusions if it needs to.
Okay.
So,
So temporary arms.
Protrusions.
yeah, exactly. technically they can be up to 10 feet long, so I could put together a pretty solid propeller if I wanted to. But
Project learns how to swim side up.
We're learning new things about ourselves. This is great. I am all for this. What'd you see down there?
well, that thing is really big. I don't know what the deal was with that platform that I saw. Maybe it wasn't there, or maybe I missed. I'm not super sure, but you go down far enough, and that just widens out, and it just keeps going down and down as far as I could see. I guess I don't know how deep it really is, because the ocean gets dark, I guess, and I don't see super well down there, but... No, it's bigger than it looks up here. Like, probably at least double the width. Didn't see any doors though, so... Oh, and it's there's, like, writing all over it. I didn't know what kind it was, but...
When you say writing, you mean like writing in another language, or you mean more like arcane magical crap?
I suppose I should roll Arcana to know that.
You don't need to, actually. You would be able to at least tell that it wasn't magical in nature. It seemed, like hieroglyphics, so it seemed like pictorial depictions of a different language or a different culture that you didn't recognize, essentially.
Okay. Yeah. No, I don't think it was a spell or anything. It was just writing. And I don't know the words. It was kind of... It was very picturey, not like most words that I've seen, so... Do either of you know picture speak?
Not I. I deal with the arcane and the divine, or not the demonic and the divine, but I don't deal with a lot of other stuff.
What do you mean when you say you deal with that?
Well, like you know, there's the celestial origins, and then there's the infernal origins, and I just kind of, you know, I'm a part of both in a way, and you know, when you're traveling, you just tend to meet a lot of people and that sort of thing, and so that's just kind of what I do.
Being part of both, how does that work for you?
Well, I mean, it gave me this really great complexion, and my eyes kind of do this funky thing, and I don't know if you noticed, but there's no pupil in it, so that's kind of cool and all. So that's kind of what it does.
I twirl my hair. I like the color.
Oh, thank you. I like yours as well. Yeah.
I'm a big fan, yeah.
High fives all around.
High fives all around.
So getting back to problem at hand, Numbers, you said you found you saw a platform over there.
Yeah, it was like stairs or something wrapping around the edge of the tower, but when I jumped, I don't know, didn't seem too super solid. I mean, I just went right through.
Did they go right through, or did they just miss?
They miss.
That's what I thought, because we were watching. It was kind of like, ew. So, we did buy 3 climbing kits. We got some stuff to work, and we also have the flying potion. But if we can get to the platform,
you also have the bucket that you have to tie to one of the climbing kits.
Is there more?
Well, if we tie the bucket to Clang, or then then he climbs over with them, then the rest of us can climb over. If we can also use it. I mean, I'm reticent to use the potion if we have a platform within reach.
Yeah, of course. Don't use the resources we can't replace.
Exactly. So maybe you should try this first, because there's like grappling hooks, and there's rope and all that in the climbing kit. So figure, grab a grappling hook, tie the rope to it. Hey, big guy, you're a lot stronger than I am. You think you can get this grappling hook over to that platform and have Numbers show where that is?
Like, looks at you. I guess I can do that if...
It kind of like tries to eyeball where you're pointing, basically takes the hook and chucks it. Hits nothing. There is no platform there.
You sure there is a platform there, Numbers?
I definitely saw one. I don't know. This whole invisible magic thing is really messing with my... I don't have a head, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. Can we see? Can I see the platform?
What's your passive perception?
That would be a 16.
There is no platform there.
No platform whatsoever. Okay. You think you could throw that grappling hook all the way up to the tower, like at the top there?
He looks at his hands. He's like,
I can try, but do we have enough rope to reach that high?
Good question. How tall is it?
the tower seems a couple of stories tall at the very least. So, few 100 feet.
A few 100 feet? Well, we can tie 2 lengths of rope together, I suppose.
Yeah, and he can try throwing that high.
I'm gonna guide him. Well,
All right. I will say he still has his rate, so he can have advantage on this.
I have a different idea.
Okay.
Okay.
My idea is, I have a little friend, my little hand, and if we can make up a couple feet by that with the hand, and then let the hand throw it, maybe it's a little bit more likely to succeed.
You can try.
Yeah, works for me.
So I cast Mage Hand, and then I try to the little hand from Adam's Family,
Yeah.
it grabs the rope and it
Ping.
just walks up the 30 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
I'll
goes
guide you
up.
up.
You see the skeletal hand just walking up the tower with the rope, and then at the 30 feet where it maxes out, just throwing it.
All right. I'll say this will be a roll on your intelligence, right? That's your spellcasting mod.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So give me a roll plus your intelligence
And guidance.
and guidance.
Does everyone have a secret extra flying hand? Is that just a thing I didn't...
Nah, I can't do
I
that.
have these ones, but they can be a secret if I hide them.
Show us how you hide your hands, bud.
You're also them.
You're right. I can't see him at all.
That's what I thought.
11.
I am elusive.
11.
But it works
Plus?
now, so. Plus
Hey.
4. So 7 plus 4 is 11.
Plus the D4. Don't forget the D4.
Plus the D4.
Yeah, 11 with the D4.
Oh, that's
Wait, 11 with the
Really bad.
D4?
Yeah, I rolled really bad. My
Oh
bad
wait,
roll-
you rolled a 7 on the D20, plus your
Yeah.
modifier of a plus 4,
Oh,
that's an
plus
11.
yeah. So now you
Plus
get
another
and
D4.
then 15.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I thought that was the guidance, but that doesn't make
Oh,
sense.
so
yeah.
15?
15, yep.
Alright, that is the DC, thank God.
Yes.
Somehow we scraped our way to the DC. As you see, the little hand runs up as far as it can, and from there it whirls itself around, almost falling off, and just tosses the rope up as the hand just falls right back onto the top deck of the ship. And as the hand just drops down, just straightens up, just and just quickly runs up towards Sly and just climbs up onto your shoulder. And the rope, as you would as everyone else would have been looking up, you see the grappling hook flies up and clangs against something for a second, even though it went straight up, and you see it loop for a second and get stuck on something. And you have a rope that seems to be going up a few hundred, 2 pieces of rope tied together, going up a few 100 feet.
I look very satisfied. I did not think that would work.
It worked.
I have a very smug look on my face.
That was really impressive. I'm not gonna lie. I'm impressed.
Me too.
Can't believe that word.
I don't know how that platform is moving, but you did a real good job of finding it.
Alright, what are you guys up to now?
Clang with a bucket tied to his pack, and
That's going up?
yeah, with numbers, and we'll observe that, and then
All right.
wait to join.
Since Sly, you threw the rope with your hand, did you roll me a flat d20? And let's see how sturdy the rope is, holding up Clog and Project. Just a flat d20, as a gauge to see what we're working with here. Well,
There we go.
beautiful! I couldn't have asked for more. Oh no! You see, Clark's like, okay. Actually rolled really well, is the sad part. Starts to, like, place his, like, heels against the tower and, like, just swings onto its side and starts going up. Goes up by about 25, 30 feet, and, Project, you're just, like, on his back, like, tied together on the bucket, and he's just like, hoop, 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 and around the midway point where you tied the two ropes together, he tugs as doesn't even break. The knots weren't tied properly, it just comes loose as Cloud just holding on to like half a rope now, just like screaming, "Oh!" and just falls straight into the ocean again with Project.
Maybe I should use a bigger hand next time.
He was hugging the tower. We need to roll damage for him. Hold on. And for Project, actually. So, as you're, like, falling, you kind of, like, slam against the side of the tower and, like, fall onto, like, the water, pretty much, like, flat surfaced. And surface tension comes in and hurts you for... that would be, bad. 4 bludgeoning damage.
That's not
Yeah.
fun.
Cloud took 8.
While
Well
that's
then.
happening, the four of us are standing there on the deck. We're just chatting. Matt, that's working really great. He's making it up there. We're all just kind of chatting with one another, and then we just watch that, half a second hanging in the air, then down, and I'm really, really glad that we had the big guy go up first. I mean, the weight differential, we had to test that rope out. This was a really good experiment. Sorry about that knot thing. That was on me. My bad.
And like Nolodax kind of just like shakes his head like, where the hell have I ended up? I used to defend kingdoms.
I mean, look, it's the scientific process. Sly Speaker can tell you all about that. It's not really it is kind of my thing because I'm a forager as well. But sometimes you just have to test things out, and if that doesn't work, you go to the next hypothesis over and over and over again. It's just how it works.
Like looks at you a little like confused and just, would you like me to provide the rope next time?
I mean, if you got it.
As I said, I don't have much left, but if I must, and you see he raises like 2 fingers and like thumb out like that, and just there's something in Draconic as these green and black chains come out of both fingers, kind of wrapping around and hurl against the tower's wall, going up and just wrap around the rope up there. And they keep coiling all the way up and up and up, all around that rope, reinforcing it onto the grappling hook. That shouldn't break, or get untethered at least.
That was way more impressive than what we did.
That won't last long, though. That'll last about 10 minutes or so. So I would advise you to be expediting your ascent.
As he says that, I'll take a little bit of dirt out of my component kit, rub it over my face, and cast Long Strider on myself.
At this point, Project and Clark are also back up on the ship. Clark is just drenched again, drying his clothes off. Project, just the same, can't get drenched.
I think I kind of like the water, actually.
So how is the fall? Was it kind of fun?
It
I
was
mean,
kind of fun.
yeah, didn't like the ending of it, but
Yeah, they say the sudden stop at the end is usually what kills you.
Wait, am I dead?
I'll pinch him.
Whoa! Why'd you do that?
Did you feel that?
I think so.
Then you're not dead.
Oh.
He pinches you.
Woohoo!
Oh, you're alive too! Congratulations!
Yeah, well, we'll see how the day goes. Let's climb up some magic chains.
Oh.
Again, just leaps on and starts climbing.
His enthusiasm is admirable.
Do I need to roll again?
You don't need to roll again, the hook's still there. Only the bottom half of the rope broke off, because I rolled really low severity. So everyone else starts climbing up behind them?
Yeah, well, we'll let Clang get a little ways up there and then start going.
Yeah, so both of you also give me an athletics check.
I turn to the others. I say, you know,
Jesus.
I know it's very, very common for my people to climb, but
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter indeed. The -2 rolled better than the +2 is all I want to say.
Yeah.
Both of you are kind of stuck near the bottom end of the chain, next to each other, just trying to make your best effort to make it up, and you're like, this is way harder than it looks. And meanwhile, Clark's just just going up with Project just chilling in the bucket, and
this is the thing I've done today.
I told you I wasn't one for climbing.
yeah.
You know, in the water, treading a little bit, I'm just gonna grab that potion and drink it and grab onto Sly Speaker and just fly us up. This is pointless.
What? Can you even carry me? Can you
I
carry
was
me?
about to make you roll athletics for that.
I mean, I got a +2 in strength. You'd think I'd be able to.
Yeah, but that's a Goliath.
We're similar height though. I'm not
15.
that.
Yeah, that's decent. You're able to grab Sly Speaker as long as they don't resist, and you start making your way up as well. First one to reach will still be Project and Clark, though. But you see, Project as Clark gets near the top end of where the grappling hook had hit, kind of reaches up, and there seems to be some kind of almost like a ceiling or something. But then he reaches around and he seems to find perches on what might be kind of like a banister or a balcony of some kind. And with just fear strength of one hand, he pulls himself and you up that like tiny grip he got because he rolled a 27.
Jesus.
And leaps onto what seems like a platform. But now that you're here, it isn't transparent. You look down, you see you're standing on stonework. Very marbled looking stonework. And you look in front of you. Hold on. You look in front of you, and you see this enormous, imposing creature, about 9 feet tall, muscles built to the brim, but wearing a very fine-looking coat and robes, very regal clothing, and you see 3 heads on this creature. You see what looks like at the center this minotaur head with a monocle. At one side, you see a dragon-like head coming out, and on the other side, you see a lion-like head coming out, and you see 3 different tails whipping at the back, and each head seems to be holding a slightly different expression, and one of them has the draconic head has a cigar in its mouth, the minotaur head has a monocle, and the lion head, the mane itself seems adorned in what look like very beautiful flowers of some kind. These blue and purplish flowers that you don't even recognize. And looking around you, you're in like a small octagonal room. You see a couple of telescopes here, a lot of books, scrolls, maps. The floorboards here seem to have openings that seem to go down in a spiral staircase on one side. And this creature looks at you and just goes, "Oh." Looks down at its arm and just goes, "I don't believe I know you."
Hello. Hi. I'm Project 617, and this is my friend Clark. Are you the Watcher?
Oh, yes. Hello.
I'm not super.
I'm the Watcher. Nice of you to know. People you usually know that. And you see the draconic head speaks up. Well, people tend to seem to just have a problem with reaching here. Haven't really had a conversation in quite a bit, actually. So, well met.
Very
However,
nice to meet you.
and the lion head turns.
I don't believe I recognize you. I'm gonna need some identification and clearance to see if you're welcome at the Watches.
And around this point at the balcony, like right next to you, you see Sly and Yoshu both land down as well, as you guys saw this happening. And as you face off against this strange Watcher, we can take a smart little intermission right there.
Sounds good.
We shall see what the party does soon enough. Alright. Welcome back, everyone. Where we had left our adventures just now, they had somehow made their way into this strange mirage tower in the middle of the ocean. And upon arrival, they have met a very well dressed three headed creature of some sort. And he looks at you all, and like the Minotaur head speaks up and just goes, "So, about that clarification regarding any of your official clearances, who am I speaking to exactly? You were making a bit of a mess near the foot of my tower for quite some time there."
What's an identification? I mean, where do you say you want to see it, like, specifically?
Who are you with? Any level of clearance you would have? Any allegiances you would bear? And the lion head speaks up. Are you friend or foe to this world?
I suppose that's depending on who you ask.
I mean,
Oh, I am asking you.
well, speaking for myself, I'm just kind of passing through, but it's been interesting so far.
And if you are passing through, why are you passing through my room right now?
Oh, so that's actually kind of a really long story. It all started when I actually kind of ran out of money. I just got into this realm again. I kind of sort of went and checked on some folks and realized they weren't around anymore. And a few years later, I just kind of ran out of coin and kind of needed it because I was feeling like an upgrade. I'm a forger. I make stuff, and so there is an offer, some coin, and then we heard about this crazy thing that happened. All these towers coming up out of the water that nobody had ever seen before. So we decided to come along over here and check it out and see what's kind of going on because you kind of freaking people out a little bit.
Oh, well, first of all, I'm sorry to hear that you have issues with your financial situation. However, I do not really know if I can help you with that at the moment, really, but as far as freaking people out, as you say, well...
And before he finishes, the Draconic head goes,
sorry about that. We kind of had a bit of a spat recently, and given the current state of the world, we need to keep a watchful eye to make sure nothing untoward happens. I'm sure you understand. We had an entire subsection of people disappear into an ocean. Some random human on the mainland claims to be some holy emperor of sorts, and then he sent you all here to look for us. And then you said that you were passing through rather than say any of those things to us, so, we're just trying to gauge where your allegiances lie.
Mostly, I'm just curious.
You say this, but when I asked who are you with 3 or 4 times now, never once did I hear the words empire or emperor. Even though I knew that, at least, would have been a good judge of character, really.
Well, I mean, we didn't say we weren't with anybody. We're actually... allegiance is really kind of subjective when you think about it.
Emperor? Like,
It's also a very big word.
Yeah,
Well-
I mean, you can do a job for somebody to not actually be aligned with them. Corporations do this sort of thing all the time. They just kind of merge together when when situations demand it. But that's not to say they're actively, cooperating with each other beyond a certain point. So, like when I say that allegiance is subjective, what I really mean to say is, yeah, we're on a job. We're on the job, obviously, but who we actually who we're allied with is kind of complicated. I mean, like, just me for myself, I'm aligned with myself, but I'm also working with these folks, and they're all great, and I like them a lot. So I'm also with them, but at the same time, like, if things happen and things change, who knows? They might decide they're tired of dealing with me and just So
the Lionhead speaks up at that point, just goes, "Well, you are, as you just claimed, employed by this creature, this emperor. If that is the case, I am sure you understand what we mean by allegiance. If the job you have taken is spreading the name of the glorious empire as he had proclaimed, a level of allegiance can be expected there. And as far as your description of the word allegiance, the Minotaur speaks up. Would you say, that gentleman down on your ship there, the strange dragon-looking fellow, would you say your allegiance lies there, then, with that one?" What's that?
I don't know. It's like we're not here to spread the word of anybody, it's a job. If we were loyal to the guy, we would have joined the army, not run off in the weirdest direction we could, chasing the weirdest thing we heard about. So I guess, yeah, the dragon guy. I mean, he's certainly more of a friend to us than the Emperor is. The Emperor's never even talked to us. I mean, I guess he talks to the big crowd that one time, but that doesn't count. That's
No, definitely not. No, I mean, honestly, like, that guy, we kind of feel sorry for him because we found out he was cursed to just wander the ocean and mourn for the fact that his people are dead. So, like, we felt bad for him, and we wanted to help him out. And honestly, like, the whole tower thing, it's more of us. We are kind of curious what's going on, and it happens to be that we also can make money off of it, which is helpful because when you travel, you got to pay for it.
When you say the curse part about that guy, he very quickly leans in close to you, Yehoshu, and kind of like all three of the heads kind of very quizzically look at you, almost very clearly breaking like some level of personal space, and just like leans back again and just goes, well, that one has an unfortunate time, yes, but a curse is quite subjective in his regard. The reason why he still lingers can be considered a duty rather than a curse, but it is strange verbiage coming from one with blood such as yours. Like, takes a very deep in, like, just like sniff all around, all three heads. Just strange blood to call others cursed, while you carry the symbol of Forge.
Well, sir, that's kind of my gimmick. I'm actually really good at making armor and weapons and things like that. He kind of pats his side where his flail's hanging there, and so, like, I mean, yeah, I'm weird, but so are you. And like the three-head thing,
I don't
that's
think
cool.
I am weird at all.
Well, of course, because it's all a matter of perspective. And, I mean, if you want to give me a kiss, you're getting so close. That's fine, too. But, like, I mean, I'm no more cursed than you are, probably.
Yeah,
that guy down there?
He definitely doesn't. Like, I tried to make him a cake and he couldn't eat it. That's a curse for sure.
Yeah, that dude is undead. We're fairly certain about that. That's a curse. Like, that just sucks. I love that we're
Again.
dithering semantics with this dude.
I mean, he literally opened by saying, I haven't spoken to anyone in decades at least, so he's happy to just talk as the thing. And just like looks at you.
I was more regarding your specific heritage. I've met many a tiefling in my time, but can't quite tell if yours is
Oh, no.
abyssal or infernal or...
Yeah, no, I'm not actually a tiefling. I know I kind of look like it with the purple hue and all, and the eyes and all, but I'm not exactly...
Oh, I know you're not a tiefling, but you do have similar blood flowing through your veins.
I kind of suspiciously look at Shu. Very interested.
And
She
the
just
reason
kinda
you're not a
shrugs.
tiefling yet have this blood can only mean two things. One, you have very specific parentage going down your line. Something that might even be considered a little dangerous by some. And the other, more troubling reality, and the Draconic Head speaks up, is that you asked for this blood at some point. Making you a bit of a conduit of certain creature. It is our job to make sure things like that don't transpire within Transeer. So I'm sure you understand our caution.
You know, Mom and Dad were their own kind of weird. We all have family members that are just complicated, and we don't talk about that. It's all good.
I would advise you to be careful in certain circles. While I can tell you bear no malcontent or evil in your heart, as of yet, others may not be as forthright and may be more quick to judge such proclivities and possibilities.
Isn't the first time I've heard that. And he pats their flail again a little bit. And it's like, trust me, it isn't the first time, isn't the last time. But hey, I'm cool. You're cool. I don't suppose you got any tea or anything around here, do you?
Oh, the Minotaur Head speaks up. I actually do! And just moves his, flicks his fingers, and you see one tiny golem of stone just starts to waddle its way up with a small tray with a bunch of different glasses and a whole tea set, and the golem itself is glowing at the limb bends and at certain points with this faint bluish light, and just waddles up and offers everyone some tea.
Well, that's
Should I-
very kind. Thank you so much.
Should I go down and get Drax? I feel like he would want some too.
Something.
Oh yeah, that's right. I keep forgetting.
And I have done you the courtesy of a visitor. Now I will need purpose from you.
Well, I suppose ultimately we're trying to figure out what was out here. But now that we sort of know, would you be willing to put a light on top of your tower so people don't smash into it? The whole invisible tower thing is kind of an issue.
They do have a point. We knew you were around here somewhere, but a couple ships actually almost crashed into you.
Well... No. I have considered the possibilities of what you have proposed, but putting a light on defeats the purpose of passive vigilance. We do not want to be spotted. We do not want to interact or contaminate the outside world with our presence. We are an observer who shall only intervene if need be.
Surely, if you're just sitting there and people crash into you and die, that's interfering with your presence.
You raise a fine point, but we've only raised out of the water because we sense the stirring. We won't be here for long, so we assure you. Do not worry too much about our presence, it will not be long-lived. I must say, though, this empire that you are with, this emperor that you serve or are working for at the moment, I have seen this person send out hosts of individuals such as yourselves in different directions, claiming different parts of land and different quarries under his name. And I did fear that he had sent you all here under similar guise to claim this tower under his domain as well.
If we were supposed to do that, they definitely didn't tell us that.
Yeah, that didn't come up at all. It was more, hey, check this thing out, see what's there, let us know, kind of thing.
It is strange, but ever since the dragons have left these lands, we have been sensing some strange stirrings from different planes, different worlds. At first, points to Yoshu, we had thought you were a herald of such comings of different planes, but that does not seem to be true. You may be a byproduct of such comings, but you are not the cause.
Oh, definitely not.
The instigator. And if that is the case, this emperor, I do not like it. He is stirring things that have been left undisturbed for far too long.
The lion head speaks up.
And if that's what he's doing, he's bound to wake someone up. And if he wakes someone up who does not wish to be woken up, or should not be woken up, that, can pave quite a bit of a struggle for all of you. And I sense in his ambition there lies paler intent in the distance. Whether he realizes it or not, a different plane is all my eyes can show me right now. A world beyond this one that will be involved, or perhaps even more than one. A world of fire. I see. A world of ash. A world of misery. But a world of purity as well. And I don't know if they're all the same world, or if it's many that he is rousing at once. So if you do work for this person, or whatever your allegiances may be, as the watcher of this part of the ocean, I must advise you all caution, and the same caution to be passed on to your emperor.
As a far traveler, do any of these descriptions of other planes sound familiar to you, Hoshu?
You can give me either a history or a religion check. Your choice.
They're identical. Okay.
They're the same picture.
5. Got nothing.
Got nothing.
You know, I've been around quite a bit, actually, and what you're describing doesn't sound like anything I've experienced before. And from what you've said, like, your organization is meant to watch, to look for these signs, right? I mean, I get the idea that you're not thrilled with this Emperor dude and expansion and all that, but like, if you're an organization that's meant to safeguard, well, whatever this reality is, shouldn't you be like working with the local government, like trying to, at least, if not necessarily binding with them, but at least mutual advantage kind of things, like a deal sort of thing, or something, like pass along information, something along those lines. Because I mean, yeah, I trust me, I'm in the same boat. Government and the whole that whole thing, not really my bag. But if it saves lives and protects this reality, shouldn't you be like, helping out a bit?
You see, the draconic head speaks up.
We've tried speaking to your kinsmen. We've tried speaking to different kingdoms in the past. It always drags us into their politics and broils us down into a task that is not ours. For those VOR allegiance who have given us this duty, and our duty is to send warning signs. What we are doing right now, interacting with any of you, there's more direct contact we've had with anyone than in the past few centuries even. Now, we do not mind or, for that matter, care in what direction and what way this emperor expands his kingdom. Kingdoms mean naught to us, but it is what he is doing in his expansion and the forces he is meddling with without understanding. That is what we fear, and what we warn you and him against.
Cool.
You say you warn against that and that it will come, but if you look around, a fiery world of misery is already happening.
You refer to the wars of past. Wars of great dragons fighting. And as such, as all other wars in your world, it has shaped it for the future, but the war has passed. What we try to avoid for this world, something grimmer than a war between mortals. Dragons have left these lands, for the most part. It is the mortals that now delve into forces beyond this world. And incursions off other planes can shape your realities beyond your understanding. Your very existence and the existence of those who follow is at stake.
So, what specific things is the Emperor doing, and what forces are they meddling with that we should tell him, hey, you might want to stop this? Like, if you got a PowerPoint presentation or anything like that?
What is PowerPoint?
Well, it's a spell that creates like an illusionary projection that you make slides in that has bullet points that explains things in detail.
Ah, you mean major image?
Major, minor, my magic's complicated. Whatever.
It certainly sounds like it, and I thought my magic was complicated.
Like, just looks at his fingertips for a second and looks back at you kind of distracted, and just, the Minotaur head again goes, well, as far as what he is, meddling with, one of those things was honestly us as well, but there's also a slight little issue he's doing. He sent a few people out west, towards a certain forest, and I believe that forest is certainly a breach into a different plane that he is further disturbing and making worse. And beyond that, he's already sent someone up north, and I fear they're gonna cross by Archdragon Peak. And when they do that,
they're gonna meddle with the dragons again, and we already know how that's gone. Just look at your own world's history for the past 300 years. And lastly, he hasn't sent anyone for this task, but our eyes have seen he and his mages and scholars, they dig and investigate, and something within his halls they are studying and researching something that they should not be. Our eyes have revealed what we told you: fire, misery, ash, purity. But we do not know what they research. But whatever it is that they research is not a simple matter to be trifled with, especially not for mortal greed or ambition.
So, like, this is very interesting and all that. It's also really, really vague. Like, are you just expecting us to go back to the Emperor and say, hey, bro, you sent some people to a forest and it's going to go to a different plane and screw things up? And those people you sent north to Dragon's Peak, the dragons are just going to get pissed off at you. And, by the way, those mages that you have somewhere researching something, you probably want to stop that, too. I mean, come on, dude.
You asked me a question, I gave you the answer to that question.
Yeah, it's just like mages that were somewhere researching something made me. Am I the problem? Do we need to?
Is
When you say
617
that,
about to kill something?
All three heads look very closely at you for a moment. And they go, what made you certainly delves into the weave, but no, it is not an incursive threat of any kind.
That's too bad. I mean, I could have called Dad up. That would have been way easier than having to find a mysterious lab.
Oh, if that is all.
I don't suppose you've heard of an heirloom of the Platinum Dragon centered around Khal Dragon?
I've heard of many heirlooms to the Platinum Dragon. Oh, around Caldraga, you say? Oh, let's have a look.
And you see they go over to this one window inside this room and waves a hand as the entire window turns into just a starscape, and pulls up that telescope to the side and just plants it onto the window and just peers into it. And about a minute passes. Interesting. And one of the other heads kind of bumps, the lion goes, "Get out of the way, let me hold him." And after that, turns to you.
Well, when you say heirloom, it's quite interesting. If you go further inland, towards actually the coast you came from, it's close to washing up, but seems to be some kind of a field.
And he's literally looking out towards the ocean as he's saying this, and just,
oh nope, the shield's gone. It's a dragon. No, it's a small figurine of a dragon, I see. Well, it is close to washing ashore, near the southern tip of the mainland, from what I understand. Not the worst place, honestly. Weather seems pretty decent there. Not too many people. It still does seem broiling with some divine essence. Is that what you're looking for?
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, sorry, sudden thought. The continent that sank, the thing that blew it up, is that one of the things that we should be warning the Emperor not to go after?
Like, thinks for a moment. I mean, sure, but I don't think he would actually find that. I'd honestly be impressed if he found it, but then again, that would mean that the mainland sinks. You know what? Tell him not to look for that either, but maybe try and gauge if he actually even knows that's a thing.
That's
Because
fair.
if he learns about it, he might start looking for it, and let's not have more problems than we already do.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Do you know, like, what it is, so we can try to figure out if he's already going for it or not?
Oh! You must mean the corrupted idol of Udot. Well, essentially it was a piece of the god of the earth himself that the Dragon Queen manipulated using her own idol, and the god of the earth nourishes and increases the land. She quite literally inverted the part's purpose unto itself, and the land eroded into nothingness quite quickly. But at this point, I would say that her idol has already melded into this piece of Udot. It's probably somewhere underwater somewhere. Honestly, I don't think it's a good idea for me to tell you where that is, so I won't.
What if we wanted to destroy it?
I highly doubt that creature's capable of destroying such a thing.
Well, that sucks, because I think that's kind of tied to his curse.
As I said before, that one does not understand his purpose yet. It's less a curse, more a duty, really.
That's fair. What'd you say that island was called again? Cursed Island of...
Cursed Island?
I think it's something...
Idol, I believe.
Idol,
Cursed
sorry.
Idol,
Cursed Idol.
Yes. Yeah, that was a cursed idol of Udot. Which essentially is literally a piece of that god.
Sure. Okay, lots of cool information here. Don't want to mess
There's
with
a lot more.
Oh, love information. What you got?
I mean, I'm not giving it to you, I just have a lot of information.
I mean, you know, why not? I thought you liked to chat.
I like to chat, but I still have a job, like you have your own job. I'm not gonna give you world-defying secrets right now.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Okay, let's do something simpler. I don't suppose you've ever heard of a mammoth shark, have you?
Of course. I have, actually.
Yeah, we kind of need a tusk of a mammoth shark, and we also need some ember leaves, which we kind of know where that is vaguely. I don't suppose you got any of that lying around, do you?
Tell you what. You give me just a smidge of your blood, and I'll give you both of those things right now.
Yeah, see, that's a thing. When you got somebody's blood, you can really screw them up. And
I mean,
I
I'm
seem
no
like you're
warlock. I am really very, very curious as to your origin. Insight, go for it.
yeah.
Actually, now that we're on the blood again, I am going to have to ask you a lot of questions, Shihoshio. I'm not going to be able to act as a medical professional if I don't know you.
19 for me.
19?
15.
There seems to be a very strong sense of curiosity towards you and your nature and your lineage. Like, pure curiosity. You don't sense any, like, malicious intent behind it. It's more like due diligence. I need to know.
I'll make you a deal. I will give you a drop of my blood if we
Oh
make...
no, I'll need it at least this big of
Well,
a
fine.
vial. He pulls out a small vial.
However, we must make an agreement that this will only be used for analysis and not for any nefarious or even dickish purposes.
Well, as I said, I will be analyzing and researching it, and I need to know what I find, because I'm honestly just curious what you are.
I mean, I could just kind of tell you, but
I don't
Sure,
think
if-
you
if-
can, honestly.
Sure, if that vial falls into the wrong hands, that's your problem.
yes,
I mean,
that's it.
the only
It is
other
my
hands
problem.
besides mine here are yours. It's been that way for centuries. I know this is a big tower, but all the other floors are empty, honestly.
Seems pretty lonely. Are there
Yeah.
not other watchers?
Yeah, so writing that 19, I'm not sensing any nefarious plot purposes from this guy. He's just genuinely curious.
Yeah, he just wants to know.
Dude, I'm going to be really annoyed if I have to come back here angry. You see, Yahoshu? Well, yeah, you know what? Fuck it, why not? Oops. I'm sure I've got a dagger. I'm not gonna...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I've got a dagger. Sure, why not? Fine, give me that stupid file. I don't want to make a huge luck trick.
He hands you the vial. Do you make a cut?
Yeah, make a little cut just to kind of in the arm a little bit to get a little bit of blood. It comes out kind of like a bluish green color. Drop.
That is 1 piercing damage.
1 piercing damage.
You make a little incision, blood goes into the vial, and you close it up.
Yep.
And he takes the vial, kind of he shakes it and holds it against the starlight in that window.
Oh, very interesting indeed. Well, as far as our deal,
Literally snaps his fingers, and lo and behold, a mammoth shark tooth just appears in front of you. A tusk, sorry, and he goes across to one of the desks and just literally slides the desk across as the desk shifts forms, and he pulls up a small bag of hemp leaves.
I mean, this one isn't really that big of a deal. You can kind of get these anywhere off the western coast, but the tusk, well, don't lose it. They're actually kind of hard to come by. I only have a few hundred myself.
A few hundred. Well, yeah, you know what? If you find out anything from analyzing that, shoot me a message, let me know.
I certainly will. If I find something problematic, trust me, you will be the first to know. Well, technically the second, I guess I would be the first to know, but...
You know, I gotta ask, what is your name? I don't think we ever caught that. Do each head have a different name, or all three of you one collective? How does this work? What is your whole deal?
I apologize. It has been so many years since I forgot.
And does a very courteous bow, kind of the tailcoat flaps behind him. Just takes a bow and just goes,
Paradificus Frellenberry Ritalin at your service.
And I trust you're gonna put that in chat for us.
I will.
Love you, buddy.
I intentionally made this name something that I would definitely have to type.
I wasn't even gonna try to spell it.
Have fun with that. It's in the... For the viewers, the spelling is P-A-R-A-D-I FITUSRELENBURYHRITHILLEN. In short, I like random complicated fantasy names.
Can I just call you Para? That would be so much easier.
How about
about
you
just
call
P?
me Watcher?
Watcher. Abs-
Mr. Watcher, even.
Absolutely. Why not?
Well then, if that is all, I will ask you to please leave the normal way out of my tower and not sneak into my bedroom through the balcony door. That was actually quite frightening.
Yeah,
First-
I suppose so. Got anyone else? Got anything?
Yeah, I guess just like a hypothetical question. It seems like you've been having a lot of difficulty trying to talk around some stuff today. Hypothetically, would it be possible for other people to become watchers? Would that make it easier for you to talk to us?
I'm sorry, but there's the dragon head again. Just you don't. Well, I guess you do become a watcher, but you aren't recruited, really. You are made for this purpose, and this is the purpose that you serve.
Well, I was
Mortals,
literally
unfortunately,
made for a
can't.
purpose.
Oh no, I mean I was made to fill the purpose of a watcher.
Oh,
Mortals can't fill this position, unfortunately, because, well, they tend to die.
So, someone physically created you.
I mean, didn't someone physically create you?
Well, that's what I'm kind
Technically.
of wondering. What if the process was the same? Like,
Oh,
like
not
that.
at all yours. Again, I still don't know your process, honestly. I'm going to find that out quite soon, but...
well, you see, when a mommy and a daddy love each other very much, they tend to do this hugging process thing, not wearing clothes. It's a bit complicated. I'm honestly not sure how it would work for you, but at least I know
understand how copulation works amongst your kind, but... I was certainly not made that way. I was placed here by what you would consider a divine celestial being.
We're actually
Serving
kind of
as-
more similar than you think.
Well, I'll be the judge of that.
Do you know
So
what
yes, we were
celestial
placed
being?
here. Well done. I, in particular, was placed here by the grace of two gods. By the god Helm and the god Azuth.
You said Helm and Azuth?
Yep.
So the gods kind of place you there, and you're meant to keep an eye on the everything and see what's going on. Now, do you then report to Helm and Azuth?
I mean, I think it's happened like twice, but not really. We just do our jobs. And if things get really problematic, like, let's say, actually I cannot tell you that, but let's say a big bad thing happens and many, many of you die. Or something from a different world shows up and then many, many of you die. Or many, many of you go to a different world and never come back. Those are times when I would usually send a report up.
And if you being here now, is that we can assume a precursor? Like, I know you gave us the warning and all, but you wouldn't be here unless, like, your tower wouldn't be here unless this was happening?
Lionhead speaks up. Well, that is the gist of it. Quite simply put, there's a lot of problems in the world at all times, but right now, it's hitting a bit of a high note. Or it's about to. And
the world's, you would call it an alarm system, is a little more active and on high alert at the moment. And that's where we come in.
Could you, maybe give us anything that we could show the Emperor that says, hey, this guy's legit, you should definitely be listening to what he's saying right now?
Huh. I mean, that would count as further interference, but... Oh, I know! Goes over to his desk, strolls about a few things, picks up, and gives you a handkerchief with his name on it. So half the handkerchief is the name.
Well, that's much appreciated. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks. We will let the Emperor know, hey, stop the crap you're doing. The towers are here to keep an eye on this stuff, and you're kind of triggering, so you might want to stop.
Looks at you and just goes, that would do it, and well, if he doesn't listen, then, another apocalypse, another catastrophe. I'll see some people in a few hundred years, I guess, talking about, asking questions about, have there been people before, and then I will talk about you all.
Right, have there been people before? They didn't even ask about that.
I mean, yeah. There have been many people before. People come and go every few hundred years when, we pop out of the ground or some bad things start happening. This one time, actually, we were in the water. And someone swam all the way down to the bottom and found us. And obviously that was quite surprising, because, it was quite far down, honestly.
We did think about that. I'm not going to lie, it worked out better going up.
Oh, actually, the entrance is down. It's not all the way down, that's the basement. The entrance is a little, But actually, let me show you. He starts leading you out of his room, basically, please leave.
He did ask us to leave by the front door, so he's got to show us where it is.
Waves a hand, the doorway to this room turns into this shimmering blue portal, leads you all through that, and you appear out in what looks like this glass dome underneath the water. And around you see this big marble walkway with he literally pulls a lever, and about 6 to 10 different shaped weapons just turn off and move back into the wall. And there's literally a small shimmering moat underneath this dome of this black liquid. That also recedes back and disappears, and then he leads you guys forward and pulls another lever.
Oh yes, do you need air?
Preferably.
Okay.
Pulls a different lever, and you see this walkway literally starts apparating. This, what was the transparent material starts to solidify into that same marble flooring, and you see this entire walkway spiraling out around the tower, and it just leads out towards what looks like a small dock of sorts that raises out. And the entire thing is covered in the same material as a tunnel, so you can walk through it without dealing with the ocean, basically. And he looks at you.
Well, I will be receiving that once you have left, and I hope things work out on your end. Well, in your time, I should say, I guess, but best of luck.
Yeah, thanks. Absolutely. Do you mind if we just come by and say hi sometimes if you're still up on the surface? You're just kind of a pretty chill dude, and I wouldn't mind hanging out again.
Give me a persuasion check. As he's considering.
10.
10? You rolled perception, not persuasion.
Oh, I did. I'm sorry. Well, that would be.
No, like, take another roll, then it's fine.
Sure.
Oh my god! You can't keep doing this to me.
You know, the dice want to tell a story. We made a friend today.
We made two
All
friends.
right.
Yeah, we did.
I rolled literally I rolled for his better judgment right now.
Mm-hmm.
He rolled a 1.
Love it.
What?
Love it.
Looks at you and just goes, well, that sounds like it could cause some problems. But then again, you are rather small. It should be fine. And like reaches into his coat pocket and pulls out a small stone and hands it to you.
Okay.
In Celestial, if you speak it, it reads his name, essentially, and his designation as Watcher of the Sea of Swords. And he, like, hands it to you and just goes, if you ever need to pop by for a visit, just hold this out and say my name in my tongue.
Which I'll say in Celestial. Absolutely, I will do that. Thank you very much.
Ah, excellent. So if you say my name, you and anyone who is touching you will visit me.
That is awesome. And Yehoshi will just put his fist up to fist bump.
What do I do with this?
Just tap your fist on mine. You know, it's just a friend.
Roll a strength save.
Roll what?
Strength saving throw.
20.
Oh, I was like, what, you get a 1 now?
That would have been really funny.
Just like, you feel this overwhelming force of a gigantic fist like slam into yours, and you feel your knuckle, like the bone of your knuckle, almost like shift inward for a second in pain, and just like pulls his fist back.
Oh, well done. I have learned something new of your customs. Thank you.
You are really, really
I
strong.
Thank
Just
you.
like massaging his hand.
I tend to keep good care of myself. I have to, given my position. And, well, if I ever do see you or, well, anyone of your time again, this is how I shall greet them. Thank you.
Just one small note. Like, I'm pretty tough, but like if you try to do that with the same level of force to Sly, you'd probably crush their hand. So, like gentle, just a tap, just a
He looks
delicate,
at you and just
delicate touch.
like knuckles one finger up and tries to do it.
Is
Yeah.
that better for you?
Maybe for Zem, I don't know, but yeah. Just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind.
Huh. Interesting customs. Well then. Farewell.
Thanks so much for your time, and have a wonderful next 2 centuries.
Starts pondering as like you're like walking away. You hear him mutter to himself.
That mean after a few centuries I won't have a good time. Interesting. Must research further.
And starts walking down the portal and disappears as you all go all the way up to the docks, arrive back at your ship, as Morgan and Naldaxo is looking at you like, what?
See, I told you there was a platform.
It's been just a really weird day, but we got a lot of stuff to tell you.
And as you guys get off the platform, you see it like literally descends back into the water and attaches back to the tower and disappears. And there's no platform there anymore.
Low key, I actually really like them. That's an interesting thing. I've never seen that type of being before, or an organization like this. Like, I don't know. I'm just kidding the candy store right now. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but that was fun.
It was super interesting. It's like, I don't know, you don't meet new types of creatures every day, and if I thought he would have answered, I probably would have asked a bunch of questions, but I guess I won't need specialized medical training for one guy if he won't talk to us, so...
I'm pretty sure you'll never have to work on them.
Yeah.
I still think it was pretty foolish of you to give your blood away.
Probably.
You see Morgan just speaks up. You gave your blood?
Like I said, it's been a weird day, but it saved us basically probably 2 weeks
He's
worth
just
of
like
travel.
bridging his nose like, oh god, oh god, oh god. In panic.
Yeah, it's fine.
We may have to keep a watch on you just to make sure nothing weird happens while you're sleeping. Oh god. Great. More work for Morgan.
It's fine. Trust me, it's not a big deal. Nothing bad can happen whatsoever. But
Sure,
hey,
you believe
I mean, we don't have to hunt down a shark now.
Yeah, let me just remove my Megalodon encounter from my list.
I'm certain you got the shorter stick after that, Dingle.
I mean, I don't know. Like, what's he really gonna do? He said he was just going to research it, figure out what I am. I mean, I know what I am. I'm Yahoshu.
Look at us. If we can make it into the tower, a lot of different people can.
Maybe, but you really think that dude's gonna give up anything he has? Like, the fact that we got the stone and the handkerchief, I'm like really blown away right now. So,
He sure likes to give things away.
well, but imagine someone going up there being aggro, trying to take it from them. I don't think so.
Pretty impressed by how tall he is. I don't think I've ever seen anything taller than me.
Right? Right? I didn't want to fight them.
Oh yeah, like none of you would have seen a 9-foot tall creature to begin with, but yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I've seen some really weird stuff out there. You travel as long as I have, it's bizarre. But yeah, definitely never seen anything like him before. Them, whatever, I don't know. But hey, come over here, Nuladax. We got some information for you. We're pretty sure we know where the heirloom is, but destroying your object of hate, I don't think it's going to happen because it's basically a piece of a evil god. So you might not want to mess with that too much.
Give me a religion check.
Sure. Yeah, that was Matt saying, because Matt has no clue what these gods are.
Yeah.
17.
17. You know, Udoth isn't a evil god by any means. Udoth is the god of the earth, so it is a very neutral presence that exists in the world. That particular piece of him has been corrupted by an evil god known as Tiamat. But Udoth himself isn't evil.
Okay. So I clarified myself.
Yeah.
Tiamat took a piece from the god of the earth and has corrupted it, and that's kind of like really screwing things up. And the big dude we just told you about a few seconds ago, he was like, you don't want a piece of that, you don't want to deal with it, it's way beyond any of your powers, including yours like 10 times over. So I feel like like he also said you kind of serve a purpose. Like your whole existence is meant to fulfill a need that reality has. So I don't know if that's really what you want to mess with or not.
Like, when you say that stuff to him, first of all, he goes,
Oh, if we can't destroy and we have to make sure that doesn't happen again, though. We do have to seal it away or something. As far as this purpose you speak of, I do not know it. I have chromatic descent and was branded as those who sided with Dragon Queen. We served Tom in my order, and by extension Bahamut. My descent had nothing to do with who I followed. I don't know what purpose I have left to serve, especially to a world that has already branded me as evil.
Well, if it helps at all, I have a very specific purpose, and it's to roll around on the floor of the lab eating mice. So, you don't have to do what you're supposed to do, is all I'm saying.
They actually make a really good point.
Project, give me a persuasion with advantage.
Let's see how this,
What am I rolling today?
oh, goodness. Uh-oh.
What is with
Sadly,
these rolls?
you still rolled higher than him. What am I rolling today? Anyway, you say that and like pauses for a moment and just goes,
Well, you are true in that. Because certainly my purpose wasn't to sail around empty waters. But fine, you have given me something though. The symbol of my lord. Bahamut still exists and is safe somewhere.
Yeah, and I
If-
can tell you where it's gonna be soon.
If it is amicable to you, could you please take me there? Perhaps in time I can find some purpose that you speak of.
You want to go find the heirloom? Yeah, absolutely. I have no problem dropping you off there before heading back.
Is that, like, within... I just don't know the distance, because we hired Morgan for a specific number of days, right? Do we have time?
Morgan looks from the bag, just
I mean, you all said you were gonna get paid by the Empire, weren't you? Just pay me for the rest of the days when we reach back.
I'm good with that.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Here's your heading. Head towards the coast. We're looking for the southern tip of the mainland.
he like thinks a second.
Oh. Fine.
And with the same dull, monotonous expression, just okay, just starts very sadly turning the wheel over, and you all start heading your way towards southern tip of the mainland. First of all, as it will take a few days to reach, for working through the witness tower and basically going unharmed and peacefully resolving the tower situation. By the way, would not have been peaceful if you broke through his shit to get up to the top. And honestly, I was terrified for that. That's why I was scared that you picked this quest. But because it was all very amicably handled, and honestly, you claimed a lot of information to take back to the Empire. You all get a level.
Woo!
Hey,
Heck yeah!
nice.
And you spend the next few days heading back, and as you're heading back, you notice like the seas are relatively calm. Every now and then in the distance, you would see like a couple of other ships, merchant ships or whatnot, heading around to different places. And after about 6 more days of travel, you navigate your way around towards the southern end of the mainland, and then it takes you another 2 days to reach the mainland's coast. And as the field comes into view, you see this large, pointed, jutting rock, like crag of rocks just coming out of the coastline towards the ocean, almost like an arrowhead or a spear. And Morgan kind of looks out and yeah, he kind of looks out to the base of that and goes, "Oh, there we are. The spear of the giant. Why are we here? Should I drop anchor?"
Yeah, let's, we need to get to the shore, because we're looking for something that's, washing ashore near the tip there. So if you want to drop anchor somewhere close so we can get to mainland, that'd be perfect.
Mm-hmm. He kind of like nods, and you guys start to get close. Like, you can't get all the way close up, like to the coastline, because again, there's like crags of rocks here.
Yeah.
But you are able to get a decent chunk close. Just a second. Yeah, that's weird. For some reason, the music died. That's fine. We'll switch. As you get closer, you see he drops anchor, and Nolodax drops his raft into the ocean. Like, just chucks the little miniature figure he has into the ocean, and you see it just starts to grow out with the same pale magical green light into a small raft. And gestures for all of you to get on with him.
Sure, why not?
Absolutely.
And you start making your way towards the coast. And as you reach here, you don't really see any like people or any like settlements around this part. And you do notice a lot of the patches of the coastline here. The sand is black, like it's been scorched. And in different places, you'd even see like slightly calcified remains of different humanoid creatures, and it seems they're very old, like they've been calcified, but they were all scorched and blasted into the ground essentially. And you all, as you're making your way across like the coastline, a little upper, like, you know, small hill around this like tip of the spear basically, you see a small clearing with a few trees about, and right down the coast from like this hill on the other side, you see this about 5 foot wide, 10 foot large, tall statue of this magnificent looking dragon, just like regally like standing proud, is washed ashore and like kind of collapsed into the sand itself. And you see, while it's in pristine condition, around the statue, there are a handful of individuals. who a couple of them have like chisels out, and they're like trying to like leverage the statue out of the sand. And there's a couple others who seem to just be standing behind them, watching them do this work.
This looks like a excavation of sorts.
Kinda, yeah.
Can we see any details of the individuals who are doing this?
The three individuals that are currently working the statue out, two of them are dark elves. They are drow. One of them seems to be of gnomish descent, and the two individuals standing, they have their backs turned to you, so you can't really make out any features, and they're wearing like these long black robes. So it's hard to really gauge what they are.
So have they noticed us? Because I mean, we're like on a raft. We have a boat behind us.
So exactly. So you came up on. So let's say the spear is coming out one end.
Mhm.
Off to the left of that, you guys kind of like docked down there and climbed up a hill, and you saw on the right side, like on literally on the opposite end of the spear, the statue was like caved in. So they didn't see you approach because you came in from the other side.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm gonna turn over to our lich buddy and be like, "Hey, I think they're messing with your heirloom over there." I don't know.
He looks a little like,
Oh, well, I suppose I will have to tell them to stop then.
Yeah, probably.
and looking a little like miffed, he starts walking ahead. And as he gets down to the coastline, he just like yells out to them, "Are you coming with him?"
I'm probably walking a little behind because I'm kind of curious to see what he's gonna do.
How
I will knock
behind?
down the I will join as well, but I want to have a look at the remains of the humanoid, see if there's any Goliath bones.
Roll me a nature check.
Mm-mm-mm-mm. $18.
18. No Goliath bones. You're able to tell most of the remains here are Asima and draconic in nature. And after that, you also kind of catch up with the group, and like you're all like trailing a little behind, but you're kind of like following. And he speaks out to them, just going,
You all, stop this immediately. You are desanctifying a piece of the Lord Bahamut, the Platinum Dragon.
and you see one of the robed individuals kind of like the three people working there, they immediately like stop and look, and the robed individual turns around, and you see it is a, well, both of them turned around. You see one of them is a tiefling with this very light reddish skin, almost pink, and the other seems to be this dragonborn with green scales. And they both look over at this one, and they just go, well, the dragon one goes,
And why are you objecting, friend? If anything, I would think you would have no problems with dealing with the cause of our problems.
and you see, kind of like looks over, and that's when you all notice like these people turned around. They're both wearing these necklaces, like these metallic braces across their neck, essentially, of a 5-pronged head, and it seems to be almost like soldered into their necks, and they look at you and just go, Nolodax looks at them and first goes,
I I should have known. There really is no talking left to do with you people, is there? I will say this one more time. Leave the statue be. I will take it back to the sanctuary where it belongs.
And they just go,
The sanctuary has a statue already. How about you let us have this one? We have a few fun uses of it. You and your friends there can make quick work of it anyway. And we can make quick work of your friends too, if you'd like.
and as he says that, Fly, you don't realize, but immediately you feel this cold feeling across your neck as someone snuck up behind you and is holding a dagger up to your neck. And this person seems like they're a half orc. And you like stop for a second, and this person just goes, "Well, friend, you can all leave right now. Leave us this little thing. Go on your merry way, do whatever the hell else you were here to do." And Naladax just goes,
I apologize to you all for getting you wrapped up in all of this. But I cannot stand idly by as I watch this happen.
as he unveils his other claw. Two of the fingers are just bony claws at this point, as they start to crackle with this greenish arcane lightning.
You see a slight smile on my face as I just feel challenged.
And as he goes,
Allow me to show you what a decrepit old defender can still do.
and that is where we will end our session.
All right.
Ooh. Heck yeah, level 4.
Level up, level up.
Oh,
So many
so yeah,
options.
that is the end of Flight of Cinders for this week. I hope you all had fun. Once again, I am Dan Fighter, or Dan, the Dungeon Master, fortunate enough to play with these lovely folks here. And you can find me on DanFighter117 on Instagram, Twitter. You can find my stream, dicedrop.ttrpg, on Discord, Instagram, and on Twitch. We stream every Monday. Currently, we are doing a campaign Prison Break called Shackles of Rhyme, where you can watch me try to crawl in a bunch of inmates who keep going deeper into the prison for some reason. And joining me has been a lovely, lovely cast who can once again go around and let us know where we can find you.
Yeah, thanks so much for running the game. I'm nobody.
course.
I'm also called Patch. You can catch me on Twitter at patch_jacket, or on my weekly podcast, Us Weirdos Have to Stick Together, which is about queer representation in cartoons. We just released our episode on the finale of the Owl House, and it is a big episode. So, yeah. And then I will also be here next week for the special episode, because there's 5 weeks in this month, so we're doing a one-shot this month. It's Vigilantes Union Origins, a World War II era story about labor relationships in the workplace for superheroes.
Amazing.
Awesome. Okay, well, howdy everybody. I am Matthew R. Dawson, and today I was playing Ehoshu, the half celestial, half abyssal, or infernal, Forge Cleric. You can find me on the Random Rhapsody Network every Monday and Wednesday night, where I'm your friendly neighborhood host and GM of the Debauchery Circus campaign, the Fab 5 campaign, and our newest campaign, Sonnet of Blood, a Curse of Strahd campaign, which is a lot of fun. Other than that, you can find me on at Scruffy Wanderer on the tweets and the Instagrams. So, yeah, that's about me.
That's good.
Hi everyone, and bye everyone again. My name is Weather Ikea. You can find me here on Twitch, where I'll be playing Bramble the Mountain King, a Norse horror game, on Friday. And I'm also on Twitter with the same name, And yeah, that's where you can find me. Today I played
Amazing.
Galea, a Goliath War Wizard. Level 4!
Level 4. You can find out how they deal with these sudden, strange, excavating cultists next time. Which would be what, the 27th of May, I believe. And you can see how they handle that situation. I have a feeling it may not be as amicable as their last one. And
I don't
once
know,
again, thank you.
Yoshu can
Yeah.
bullshit with pretty much everybody, so.
Hey, if you roll another nat 20, my hands are tied. You guys are gonna keep getting levels off of just talking to people. Bloodless campaign. And yeah, once again, thank you to the Transverse, the production team, which includes Scruffy here, to the rest of our lovely players, the moderators in the chat, and the rest of the staff. We will all catch you next time on Light of Cinders. Bye bye.
Good night.
Take care.
Right.